All right, so welcome to the Monday night masterclass. Tonight, we are actually not going to have very long talk. We're going to be talking about a Tridoshic practice. Tridoshic means that it doesn't matter what your constitution is. So remember the doshas, vata, pitta, kapha, are made up of the elements. The elements are ether, air, which make up vata, pitta, and pitta has a tiny bit of water, by the way, tiny bit. So pitta is fire, and then you have kapha, which is water and earth. And those constitutions, when you find out what your actual constitution is, you might find out that you're dominant in one of those. Oftentimes that is the case. Or you might be, balanced. Like for me, I'm a vata pitta, pitta vata. I kind of go back and forth. So with that in mind, I want to talk to you about, you can definitely do a practice that actually balances all of the doshas. So it doesn't matter what your constitution is, there are yoga postures that energetically balance all of the elements. Not all of the postures do that. So all of the warrior poses actually intensify pitta. So warrior poses are not that great for pitta if you're high pitta. And also postures like handstands and headstands, they're not that great for pitta because it aggravates the pitta. So I want to talk to you a little bit, let me fix my camera here, about what you should be thinking about. If you do know what your constitution is, then these are the things that you want to consider. If you are more vata, which means you have more ether and air, you tend to be a little more scattered, you have a hard time, feeling grounded and calm, you tend to have anxiety and worry. Those are your tendencies. And you would want to move through your practice with moderate holds and doing more repetitions. Okay? The breath that you would use is slow and even, which is a balanced breath. We talk about 1-to-1 breath. So if you're inhaling for 4 counts, you would want to exhale for 4 counts. If you're inhaling for 5 or 6 counts, the same. You're going to exhale for 5 or 6 counts. So vata always is going to do moderate holds with repetition because we're trying to build strength and stamina and grounding for vata, and slow, even breath for vata. If you're pitta has to really be careful because pitta just always wants to go for it. Pitta needs to work without strain. So that's why I always say pitta's mantra is ease. Pitta should be moving with ease, no strain at all, because they want to go for it. The breath that pitta is going to use is an easy breath. So there's no strain in the breath at all. And by the way, pitta and vata both can do the ujjayi breath. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I'll do a whole nother talk on ujjayi breath. But if you do know how to use ujjayi breath, vata and pitta both can use ujjayi breath. For kapha individuals, you would want to go through your yoga practice with longer holds and also more repetitions. And the breath that you would use is they just consider normal breath. So you're just actually doing your normal breathing pattern. There's not really an emphasis for kapha like there is with the vata and the pitta. So that is just what I want you to consider as we move through our practice. All of the postures that we are doing tonight, there's a ton of postures that are Tridoshic. I do not think I will get through all of them. We will start with standing postures because those are the foundational postures. And we will move from there, do a few inverted postures, and then we will end up on the ground doing some seated postures, and then we'll be on our back. Okay? So let's carry on and go from there and start at the top of the mat. We'll do a little warm up, Surya Namaskar. So typically with Surya Namaskar, the sun salutations, you're always doing sun salutations at 12 times. It warms up the body. Okay, so come to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment here, just pausing, connecting with the breath, connecting with the body. Let go of the day. Come into this moment. Feel your feet grounded on the floor. Activate your feet down into the ground and then hug the muscles around the bones in the legs. Begin to feel activation lifting you upward. So draw the navel in and then lift the navel up into the ribs. Allow the chest to lift and the shoulder blades to move down the back and reach through the top of the head. Take a moment to feel your connection to the universe, to the skies, to the ethers. The crown of the head reaching upward, connecting with all wisdom. Good. And then from there, we're going to release our arms down and inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Taking our time. Inhale, add an extension so your hands can go to the shins or they can stay at the ground. Exhale, stepping back, right leg lunge. And then stepping back into down dog. From here, drop down to your knees, nice and slow, release down, chin and chest to the ground, and then just slide right through and come up into cobra. Press back into down dog. So we're only going to be going through this 4 times. This is our warm up because we have a lot of postures to cover. Then picking up the right leg and stepping forward. And then the back leg steps in. And when you step in, you'll go right back into an extension. So extending the spine. And then releasing forward into a fold. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Exhale, drop down, forward fold. Inhale, add an extension. Step back and right leg lunge. Then stepping back into down dog. Drop down onto your knees. And then you lower the chin and chest down and slide right through. Come right up into cobra. Take it back, down dog. Pick up your right leg and step forward. High lunge. And then the left leg steps forward. Go right.
Hey, Maria, I can't hear you.
No one can hear you.
My mic is on. Sorry, guys. I have a mic ordered. I'm just waiting for it. And then come all the way up.
Now I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, you guys. I have a wireless mic coming. It's on. It's just shorting out. Okay, one more time through the sun salutation. So if I lose my mic, just keep continuing with the practice. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, extend. Step back, right leg lunge. Then the left leg steps back, down dog. Drop down onto your knees, chest lower, then slide right through. Come up. Press back, down dog. Right leg steps forward, lunge. Then the left leg steps forward, come right back into an extension. And then forward fold. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down, and we're going to step back into down dog. So this is going to be our first pose. Down dog is considered a Tridoshic pose, but for Pitta, you cannot hold it for very long. If you hold down dog too long, it can aggravate Pitta. So we just don't hold it for very long. Then pick up the right leg, and we're going to step forward, dropping the back heel and come right up into Trikonasana. Reach, and then lower. Trikonasana is a Tridoshic pose. So from here, you can use a block, and then reach and hold. Good. So from here, we're going to release down and step your back leg in. So you're going to step in, feet come together, and then inhale all the way up. From here, we're going to actually bring the hands to the heart and hold Tadasana, mountain pose, which is also a Tridoshic pose. In mountain pose, I want you to imagine that you are literally holding the pose like you are a mountain. Move the shoulder blades down the back. Move the head back. Good, then releasing your arms down. Pause here, hold it. Keep it there. Need more light. Good, then from there we come back up with the arms. Exhale all the way down, and we're going to step back into down dog. From there, step the left leg forward. We're doing Trikonasana again. I'm going to rotate so it looks like we're all on the same leg. You reach up, straighten the leg, and then lower. Trikonasana. So we're on the other side, Trikonasana. If you're using a block, put it on the baby toe side of the foot. Now remember how you're holding these poses. Vata, you want to have a nice slow breath. Ujjayi breath. And you also want to hold and repeat the poses. Pitta, you want to hold without strain. Kapha, you have to be steady, hold for longer periods of time. So because we have all these different people in the practice today, we're just doing our best. Just keep in mind, whatever your dosha is, that's the emphasis that you want. Then swing the arm around. And from there, you're going to step your back leg in. From here, we're going to hold it in a forward fold. So we're doing a forward fold. 2 fingers are going to wrap around the big toe, connect to the thumb, and you drop the head down. Okay, 2 fingers, wrap around the big toe, and pull. Relax your head, you guys. Good, relax your head. Then inhale, come up. Exhale, dropping back down. We're going to step back into down dog. Step forward with the right leg. And again, we're going into Trikonasana, which is going to set us up for a couple more poses. Drop down, Trikonasana on the right side, triangle pose. And we're going to move from this pose into half moon, which we do it often. Both of these poses are great for all of the doshas. So turning your head and looking at your big toe, release your upper arm to the low back. Bend the front knee, and if you have a block, you're going to reach out to your block and then lift your back leg up. You can change your block size. You can go a little higher if that's better for you. Back leg, so the leg in the air is just as strong and active as the front leg, then releasing that left arm up. Vata is holding, moderate holds with repetition. Pitta holding without strain. Kapha longer holds and also repetition. Now, when we lower, bend the right leg, lower, and you're going to plant the foot. I want you to actually shift your weight. So you're going to drop the right hip back and the left hip forward. And then inhale, come up. So we're squaring our hips, changing our hip position. Okay, we're doing another Tridoshic pose. The arms are going to go behind the back, right to the low back, fists together, fingertips together, or you're going to move the hands up the back of the spine. Move them up. Okay. Make sure your right hip is back, left hip is forward, and then drop forward all the way down. Now, keep your elbows moving back and relax your head. Then releasing from there. Once you lift back up, you then let go of the arms, reach up, and then go down, and then stepping your back leg in. This time, we're going to take the palm of the hand underneath the foot. So you literally push the toes down into the palm of the hand on both sides. And the toes come right up to the line where the hand and the wrist come together. Okay? And again, you want to relax your head. And then begin to straighten your legs, pushing your toes down. Relax your head. This is such a great pose because it really stretches that upper back. You're forcing the toes down onto the wrist. Gives you a nice big stretch. And then from there, releasing, coming all the way up, all the way up. And then we step all the way back down. Step back into down dog. Again, we hold. Now picking up the left, we go right back into Trikonasana. Use a block if you would like. Open up. Remember, we're going to move from Trikonasana into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Holding that pose, nice and steady. from there, releasing your arm to your back, you're going to turn your head, look at your big toe. If you're using a block, take it with you and lift your back leg up. Super strong. This leg that's in the air is just as activated as the leg that's on the ground. Then release that right arm up. If you feel stable today, turn your head to the side. And then we lower. Now, when we lower, you're going to step your foot out a little bit because you're going to lift right up. Move the left hip back and the right hip forward. Reach. Good. Take your arms behind your back. Again, you bring your fists together, your fingertips together. And if you're able to bring the fingertips together, then bring the whole hand together. Move up that spine. Keeping your elbows back, draw the navel in, go forward. Relax your head. And then slowly, slowly lifting your arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release down. And we step the back leg in again. Okay, this time you take the forearm on each arm behind. You're going to go right to the calf. Okay, go right underneath your heel and pull the head in. Now, if you're not as flexible, it's fine to be bent in the knee. Pull the head in. There's going to be a little bit of a change here, so watch what happens. You're holding here. You're going to hang on to the right leg still. Release the left arm from behind the calf out. Your standing leg is your right leg, and then left leg reaches up. Keep pulling the head into the knee. Then release. Pull it in, and you're going to switch. Forearm of the left arm goes behind onto the calf. Other hand reaches out. Standing leg now is your left leg. Slide the right leg back, and then lift. Good, and then bringing it back in. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down. And step back into down dog. Pick up your right leg and step forward. You want the hips to be square. Right hip back, left hip forward. Take that left hand right next to the big toe. If you would like to use a block. So we're doing a few different variations of triangle with a twist, Parivrita Trikonasana. So you go right here and open up. But eventually the block goes to the baby toe side of the foot. Right hip back, left hip forward, and hold. Remember how you hold for Vata? Moderate. Pitta, without strain. Kapha, longer holds. Swing the arm around. Step that back leg, the right leg back. Good. Drop down onto your knees. And we're going to release into hero pose. Virasana. So this is another Tridoshic pose. And we hold. So right now I'm sitting on the heels. See if you can come forward a little bit. Move the feet out and go down in between. So the sit bones now go on the ground. Okay, if you need a little support, you can use a blanket. Take it behind you and lift it up. No problem. Virasana. Good, and then from there, reaching forward, coming back into down dog. And then stepping forward with the left leg. So you do want to keep the hips square. Left hip back, right hip forward, grab a block. If you're not using a block, that's fine, hands on the ground. Start out with the hand on the big toe side of the foot. You can go wider or come a little closer if you're a little more flexible. And then open up. Eventually, your hand goes to the baby toe side of the foot. Both legs straight. Even breath for Vata. Holding the pose without strain for Pitta. Being strong and steady with Kapha. Then from there, swing the arm around and step back into down dog. And releasing back down onto your knees, and you're going to sit back into hero pose, Virasana. So I'm starting out on my heels. You could definitely throw a blanket or a block underneath you. Do what feels most supportive. And if you want to, you can go deeper by lifting up, pulling your feet out, toes together, and sit back. All right, holding that pose with ease, being steady. Good, and then from there, we release out of it. Stepping back, down dog. Now the right leg is going to step forward, and we're going to turn and straddle our feet, okay? So we're wide. Then you're going to bring your hands flat. Fingertips are moving in the same direction as your toes. So the heel of your hand comes to the ground, right there like that. Then those elbows and draw them in towards each other. Relax your head. Keep dropping your head down. Good, and from there, we straighten out. So I'm just gonna turn so you guys can see what we're doing. You straighten your hands come out a little bit. Bring your right hand into the center. So it goes right underneath you. And then you're gonna stack the shoulders. But I do want you to watch out for your hips. Don't let your hips rotate to the left. You wanna keep them even. Right hand's on the ground. Okay, then we stack the left shoulder on top of the right and open up. And turn your head. Keep your hips even as much as you can. Now, if you need to pop up on the fingertips, that's fine. Or you can even use a block. And then releasing down, and now you switch sides. Left hand goes into the center. Stacking the shoulder, right shoulder on top. Watch your hips. Watch your hips, you guys. Don't let your hips tilt. Keep the hips even. Good. And then we come out of that. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to do it a couple more times on each side. Right hand goes to the center and you open up. But if you're feeling pretty good tonight, you've got a little more flexibility, I want you to notice the different distance between your right hand and your left foot. And right in the middle of those two, place your hand there. And then open up. Even out those hips. And then releasing. Now the left hand goes into the center and you open up. And again, I want you to notice from the left hand to the right foot, right in the middle, put your hand there and then open. Come up on the fingertips or use a block if you need to. Any of these variations you can do. You don't have to do the more advanced variations. And then releasing out of that, we go right hand into the center again. You can either go halfway or take that right hand all the way to the left foot and then open up. And then releasing out of that. Left hand in the center, or you can go in between the foot and the hand, or all the way there to the right foot, open up. Remember, no strain for Pitta. You want to be holding steady for Vata. Easy breath. Longer holds for Kapha. And then slowly coming out of that. Good. From there, we're going to walk our feet in. Bring them in. So you're just going to bring them in. Good. And we're doing Uttanasana, right? So that's just a forward fold, but I'm going to give you an option. You can take your thumbs and hook right into the elbows and drop down. Relax your head. Even out the breath. Easy breath. Good. And from there, slowly releasing. And you'll want to bring your hands up just above the knees. Bend your knees. Drop down and then round all the way up. Bring your hands up. And then to the heart. And release back down into Tadasana, mountain pose. So close your eyes for a moment. Feel your feet grounded. Activate the muscles in your legs. Hug the muscles around the bones. Draw the navel in and feel that again, that lifting up. As you activate, you might feel a lift happening in the body. Arches lift in the feet. Quadriceps lift. Kneecaps lift. And then the navel draws into the spine and then also lifts up into the rib cage, lifting your heart. Shoulder blades move down the back. Reach through the top of the head. Hold steady. Be a mountain. Strong, steady. And then the hands come to the heart. And we're going to be going into tree pose, virasana. Standing leg is your right leg to start. Variation 1, you keep your foot connected to the ground. Your heel comes up above the ankle. Hands to the heart. Variation 2, come up to the inside of the calf. Variation 3, you want to grab the foot, pull it into the inner thigh. Very important to take your eyes off into the horizon, staring at a single point. A drishti. Hands can stay at the heart or reach them up. Virasana. And then hands come in and slowly release. Inhale up. Exhale, we drop back down into a forward fold. Uttanasana. And hold it here, or you can hook your thumbs into the elbows and drop the head down. Then from there, we're going to bend those knees again, slide those hands up above the knees, drop the chest to the thighs, and then round ragdoll up. And then bring your hands back in. Pull it into the heart. Okay, now our standing leg is the other leg. So you bring it up, pull it in, okay, switch. Grab the foot, pull it in. I know I'm doing the same as you guys, and it looks like I'm doing the opposite, but we're all in the same. Remember your variations. The foot can stay on the ground for variation 1, variation 2, the inside of the calf, variation 3. The foot comes to the inner thigh. Eyes go off into the horizon to a single point. So find a single point, then reach. All the way up. Stay steady. Steady. Good, and then releasing. Good. Dropping back down into a forward fold and then step back into down dog. So we are going to be doing Shalambhasana. It's basically a back vinyasa that is very balancing for all of the constitutions, all of the doshas. So drop down onto your knees, shift forward and slowly lower all the way down. We're going to start out with the arms right at the thighs and the legs just go right out from the hips. So don't go too wide with your legs. Okay, we'll start out with the upper body first. The legs stay connected to the ground. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. And lift and release. Up, down, and down, and up, and down. Okay, so forehead goes down, or you can turn your head to one side, and now the legs are going to lift up. Lift the legs, reach, and release down. And lift, and release down. And lift, and release down. One more. Lift, and release down. Good. Okay, so we're going to add upper body and lower body. So take a nice inhale here. And then exhale out with the breath and lift the whole body up. And then release back down. Inhale. Exhale, lift back up. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Release down and push back into child's pose. Big toes together. Open up the knees and release down. Good. Make sure that you are evening out the breath, calming everything down. So we are going to be doing a couple of inverted. We're going to be doing shoulder stand and plank. If you have issues with your neck, I do want you to grab your blanket, and I'm going to show you how to use your blanket. You want to take the folded edge of your blanket and bring it right there to the center of your mat. And if you really have issues, then you can use 2 blankets. That will give you even more of a lift. And what it does is it doesn't put as much strain on the neck. So your neck will not be put into as big of a stretch, right? Because I'm lifting it up. When you bring your shoulders onto the blanket, they're going to go towards the rolled side, folded side. But you want to be a few inches down, right? Because your body weight is coming up. And when your body weight comes up, it's going to push your shoulders up. And if you bring your shoulders all the way to the edge, you'll go off. And you don't want that. You want to stay on the mat, on the blankets. So we're going to start out in a modified shoulder stand. From here, you bring your legs in, and you do have to like kind of hug them into your chest, and then slowly lift your feet up. This is the easiest way to do it. Hands are going to push into the ground, and you lift your butt up, then your hands go right to your low back. From there, lift your legs up. Now I'm literally dropping my pelvis into my hands, and then my feet lift up right above the eyes. So we're going to all do the more modified version. You're holding the pelvis. And then slowly, slowly releasing out of that. Now, when you release out of that, I do want you to lift your upper body up. Extend the left leg, right leg comes in, and then lift up and go into a twist. Look over that right shoulder. Then that right leg opens up. Now, if you need to have a little bit more support for the pelvis, I'm just going to sit right back up on my blankets, but to make sure I'm on the edge, pull the foot in, and then reach forward for the extended leg. Drop the head down. And then from there, slowly, slowly lifting up. Good. And extending your right leg out, left leg comes in, and again, we go into a twist. And then keep the right leg extended, pull the left leg in, and reach for that extended leg. Good, and then slowly, slowly lifting up. Good. So we're going to do that again. We're going to go back into shoulder stand. You're either going to do the modified version or we're going to try for the full extended leg version. So you go back into the shoulders right there below the folded edge, about an inch or two. Then lift your feet up and then push into the floor. And now you're either going to take your hands to the low back and you cradle that hip and pelvis. That's variation 1. Variation 2, you come up even higher. So the hands move down the back and now you stack ankles, knees, shoulders. Remember to release too much effort, okay? For those of you who are pitta. Then we're going to drop our feet down and go right into plow. Interlace your fingers or palm of the hands down. If you are not able to go into plow, you're going to drop the knees right next to the face or the ears. And then from there, slowly, slowly unwinding it again. Back up. Sit back up on your blanket if you're using one. Right leg comes in. Extend the left leg again. Rotate. Okay, so you can either go back into the same version you're doing where that bottom of the right foot goes to the inner thigh and then reach for the extended leg, or you stack the knees. So the right knee stacks, you go basically taking that foot all the way to the left side of the hip. Okay, so it looks like this, you guys. This leg comes around and now you see it on the other side and I'm stacking my knees and then you go forward. Okay. Stack the knees and then go forward. And then slowly, slowly lifting it up and releasing the right leg. Extend it. Left leg comes in. Sit up tall and rotate. And then releasing from there. And you're either going to take the bottom of the foot to the inner thigh and reach to the extended leg, or you stack. That left foot goes to the right side of the hip and reach. And then slowly, slowly lifting up. We're going to rotate so that we're on the wide, using opening up and going a little more wide. I'm going to take my blanket and rotate them so that your heels are both on the mat and we open up and straddle the legs. You want to come to the edge of your blanket so the sit bones are right on the edge and it drops your pelvis forward, right? Top of the pelvis is going to drop forward. Tailbone part of the pelvis moves back. Good. And then we open up and drop down. Okay, so if you're not as flexible, use a block and just come right onto the block. Relax your head though. If you are more flexible, your hands just move alongside the legs and you go all the way to the feet and grab the toes if you want and drop. Good, and then slowly, slowly from there, lifting up, bring your legs in, shake them out a little bit. We are going to go onto our back, doing bridge as a counter posture. Bridge is also a Tridoshic posture. So you find your heels, pull them in, and then lifting up. And releasing down, opening up your arms to the side, drop your legs to the right, look to the left. And then the legs come up, go to the left and look to the right. Good, and then from there, let's set ourselves up for Shavasana. Okay, so even with Shavasana, depending upon your dosha, really depends upon how you do Shavasana. Vata needs a longer Shavasana. So if you're a little more Vata, you can stay longer. Vata needs a longer Shavasana. Pitta needs to hold Shavasana with ease. So once you bring yourself into stillness, we are going to rest the palms of the hands to the side of the thighs, palms up in a receiving position. Make sure your shoulder blades are underneath you. Relaxing the whole body. Cover your eyes. So you're going to cover your eyes either with a dark cloth, washcloth, hand towel, an eye pillow, or an eye mask. Cover your eyes. Covering the eyes is really important for Pitta. The eyes are connected to Pitta, right? Pitta's fire. Where do we have vision, which is related to light, which is related to fire? That's the eyes. So we pacify Pitta by covering and chillaxing the eyes. Most overstimulated sense we have. Pacify the eyes. Relax. If you're Kapha, if your body type is, and your constitution is Kapha, we don't hold Shavasana as long as a Kapha person, right? They need more stimulation, so they shouldn't be resting as long. They actually need less sleep. Vata needs more sleep. Pitta needs sleep with ease. And relax. Move the body into stillness, and then merge the mind into the awareness of that physical stillness. Let the breath slow down and become easy and subtle. Notice the spaces between breath, total stillness. Linger in that stillness. And then from there, begin to deepen your breath. I will invite you, if you're Vata, to stay longer. Otherwise, slowly roll to your right side. And bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Once you are seated, bring your hands together, connecting your thumbs to your heart. Keeping your eyes closed. Slow down the breath, slow down the body. Again, have awareness of stillness. Feel relaxed, ease, calm. Balanced, rejuvenated, and yet invigorated at the same time. And let this practice give you a whole new way of perceiving, fresh and new, neutral, a way of seeing that frees us, a way of seeing that is seen from our divine self. And I honor you all for being here tonight. Namaste. Nice, you guys.